Hi friends, welcoming you back. Today's lesson is all about constructing quadrilaterals. This is what you're going to need for today's lesson. On your triangular grid paper, all the small triangles are equilateral. Please shade in two triangles that share a side. What do you notice about the side lengths and angle sizes of the shape that we've just shaded in? Perhaps you notice that the sides are all the same length. Maybe you even notice that the acute angles are all the same size because we know that the angles of equilateral triangles are equal. Think, which of the following terms relate to this shape? Quadrilateral, trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, square. It's a quadrilateral because it has four straight sides. It's also a trapezoid because it has parallel sides. It's also a parallelogram because it has two sets of parallel sides. This is a rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram with four equal sides. Go ahead now and create a larger rhombus on your triangular grid paper. Now that we've drawn and shaded in two rhombuses, let's draw a pair of parallel segments that are the same length. Let's now draw two more segments that are parallel and the same length. They must be drawn so that the endpoints of all four segments are connected. I have to connect this endpoint with this endpoint. So that means I need to extend this segment by one more side of a triangle. And now I can connect these two endpoints. And look at that. We have another rhombus. On the triangular grid paper, begin the construction of a rectangle, starting with a pair of parallel segments. To begin, locate a pair of parallel lines on the triangular grid paper. Go ahead and trace them. Think, what can we do next to draw a rectangle? We can draw two segments perpendicular to these. We're going to use our ruler and our right angle template to verify the parallel lines and the perpendicular lines. Let's use right angle symbols in each vertex. We can see where we can connect vertices of the grid to form the other segments of the rectangle, even though there wasn't a line on the grid to trace. Think, what's another word for any parallelogram with four right angles? A rectangle. What polygons can you identify inside of this rectangular grid? Go ahead and pause the video here to identify some polygons on your rectangular grid and be sure to shade them in. I'll be here when you get back. What polygons did you find? I saw a square and I noticed a much larger square by shading in 4 similar squares. I also saw so many rectangles. Can you identify a parallelogram? Can you identify a trapezoid? Perhaps you're thinking no, because these lines are all perpendicular. I want you to keep in mind that squares and rectangles are parallelograms and trapezoids. Take a moment now to visualize a parallelogram with no right angles. Let's begin to construct one. First, identify a pair of parallel lines of equal length, and then go ahead and trace them on your paper. Next, can you see the grid to draw a third segment that cannot be traced on the rectangular grid? Yes, we can connect these. Now, use the grid to connect 2 more points to draw the fourth segment, which is parallel to the third segment. Think. What changes could be made to our figure to make it a trapezoid that has only one set of parallel lines? Pause here and think of how we can change our figure to make it a trapezoid that has only one set of parallel sides. Once you've thought of how you could do this, go ahead and change your figure. We'll compare afterwards. Welcome back. Here you can see I changed the figure. I made the third and fourth segments not parallel. It's now a trapezoid that has only one set of parallel lines. Wonderful, we've arrived at today's assignment. Your must-do problems are here on the screen. Go ahead and set a timer or watch the clock for 10 minutes to complete this work. I'll be here when you get back.